Welcome to A Few Minutes with the CEO. My name is Al O'Grady, and for the next few minutes, we'll be talking to the president and CEO of Rodinia Lithium, Mr. Will Randall. Rodinia Lithium is a Canadian mineral exploration company focusing its attention on lithium projects in the U.S. and Argentina. Stateside, it has interests in Nevada, in an area that is the only lithium producer in America. The company has positioned itself nicely to take advantage of market opportunities for lithium, which is used in batteries, ceramics, and pharmaceuticals, to name just a few. Rodinia Lithium trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol RM and on the over-the-counter under the symbol RDNAF. Mr. Randall, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. Well, as I said in my introduction, you have projects in Nevada and also in Argentina. Let's talk about both of those. Let's start with the one in Nevada. Walk us through this. Tell us about that project, and more importantly, where you're going with it in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, our project in Nevada was the first one we acquired in the company. We have about 70,000 acres now of the Clayton Valley, which is the only lithium producer right now in the U.S. and the only brine resource in the U.S., so the only low-cost producer domestically. We, as I said, control most of the valley. It's about 70% of it. We completed a pretty aggressive exploration program last year in which we found some high-grade aquifers, the same ones that our neighbors are producing from right now, which gives the project a huge upside in the coming year as we tackle exploration again. The idea is to drill off the remainder of the project and have a resource estimate towards the second half of this year.
Okay, now that must give you a real competitive advantage if you're in an area that is the only lithium producer in the U.S. Is that really the case?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, as you said, batteries are the thing of the future, electrification of the vehicle, and also, just as importantly, mass storage of electricity and other energy forms. So it's something that the U.S. is definitely looking to take advantage of. Our neighbors are Chemitol. It's a major, the second largest lithium carbonate supplier in the world. And they just received a $30 million grant to expand their production facility in Clayton Valley. So it's definitely something that the government is well aware of and that positions us very well in the market space.
Okay. All right. Now, as I said, you have projects in the U.S. and also in Argentina. And for the sake of our listening audience, that's where you are right now. You're in Argentina. So I guess same question. Tell us about the projects that you have underway and what's going on there, and also what's going to be happening in the next 3 to 6 months down in Argentina.
Yeah, absolutely. Our Argentine project was the second one we acquired. I'm actually from Argentina, born and raised here. Live in Toronto currently, but can move around this country pretty easily because of that. We acquired this project early last year, and we're able to move it forward very quickly to the point that we now have a resource defined on the project. It's 5 million tons contained lithium carbonate and another 20 million tons of potash. So it's just a massive resource, high grade, very good geochemistry, which means that we'll be able to produce at the low end of the cost curve. And to put it in perspective, 5 million tons resource gives us currently the world consumption is 120,000 tons. So we have enough sort of for 40 years supply if we could extract the whole brine resource. I'm
sure you get lots of raised eyebrows when you tell people that you're working in Argentina, at least if you're talking to investors in North America. They may have concerns whether it's political stability, corruption, overall business environment. Will, is that blown out of proportion? I mean, what's your experience working there?
Argentina is very province by province when it comes to mining. There are provinces that are not so mining friendly, and then there are others such as Salta, where we have our project, that are very mining friendly. This province has had over 100 years of mining history with major companies such as Rio Tinto working in them for the past 30 or 40 years. So it's an area that I feel very comfortable in. It's very stable. And along with San Juan, it's probably one of the top 2 provinces in Argentina as far as stability in the mining sector.
Okay. A lot of talk recently about lithium resource estimates and their accuracy. Any thoughts on that, and really any additional comments on Rodinia's resource estimates for that matter?
Well, what we've done, I mean, I can't comment on I have no insight into what's happened in other companies, but to avoid any problems that may arise from resource estimates in a sector that's less well known in the market, we've hired a well-known group, AMAC, that has a lot of experience in the brine resources, not only in lithium, but potash, iodine, and nitrates. We went out and also within AMAC, they have a very, very good quality control or peer review system in which nothing actually gets out of their hands and into the market before it's been looked over by several people that know what they're doing. So that was our approach to it, and it's going to continue to be our approach. Any of the processes going forward, such as when we go through our metallurgical reports and economic assessments, we're going to involve not only the right individuals, but also groups that will ensure that no mistakes are carried forward and through the process.
Okay, let's talk money for a second here. The company has over $11 million in the bank, so to speak. How are you going to be spending that money, and what goals are you hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, we're well funded for most of this year. We completed a financing early this year. So as you said, we have over $12 million in the bank. And what we're going to do with that is two different things. We're going to complete our pre-feasibility study in Argentina under the Avlijos project. So essentially firm up what the production potential is and what our cost estimates are going to be and how much we can produce from the salar. And then at the same time, we're going to put some of that money to work in the U.S. as well to complete a resource estimate on that project. So two major milestones are going to be achieved with this money, and will add a lot of value to the company over 2011.
Okay, as I said in my introduction, lithium, I'm always thinking about batteries when you're talking about lithium, but there's batteries, ceramics. I didn't realize that pharmaceuticals were also in the mix. Give us some sort of idea in terms of a dollar value, what the total market potential is.
Well, right now, it's a sector that's in a lot of growth. I mean, it's been growing over 8% every year for the last 10 years, except for 2009, post the major meltdown. And most of that is driven by the increase in consumption of lithium coming from battery manufacturers. And that's where it's expected to grow even more as electric vehicles come online, especially in Asian markets where this is already being seen. In the U.S. and in Canada, we don't have that as present as in Asia, where there are already a lot of electric vehicles on the street. The lithium that's used in ceramics tends to come from hard rock sources that have to then convert the lithium oxide to lithium carbonate, so it adds another cost to the production of lithium carbonate, which is what we will be producing from brines, and will allow us to be competitive in the lithium carbonate sector, which is what batteries use.
Okay. If you have an investor and they're doing their due diligence, and I'm sure they're looking at lots of different junior resource companies, hundreds of them really, what is it that sets Rodinia apart from the crowd?
Well, a number of things, actually. We are, as you pointed out, we have two projects, the only lithium brine project in the U.S., and another one in Argentina, high-grade, good geochemistry with a very large resource in it that's already proven. And both of these projects are in very mining-friendly jurisdictions, Salta in Argentina, Nevada in the U.S. We're well-funded to go through and reach major milestones for both of these projects. So you don't have to fear as an investor any further dilution before we add a lot of value. And then if you look at our company as far as valuation compared to other companies that have similar resources, we are we're trading at a significant discount. So there's a lot of upside where we are right now. And as we add more value, there'll be even more upside.
Okay. What can shareholders expect from you and the company in the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, next 3 to 6 months, our major milestones are going to be proving the processing at the Avlijos. Brine can be kind of complicated to understand as far as the processing goes. Yes, we have 5 million tons contained in the ground, but how are we going to extract it, and what are the costs of processing? Can we do conventional evaporation, et cetera? So that's what we'll be releasing to the market. We'll get our processing nailed down. And then in Nevada, you can expect more drill results as we expand the current footprint.
Okay. Well, that's it as far as the formal questions are concerned. As always, my guest gets the last word. Any final thoughts? Anything you'd like to add right now?
Just keep in mind that Rodinia is well positioned. We have a carefully thought out game plan that's going forward by choosing good projects in mining-friendly jurisdictions to capitalize on the increasing demand of lithium carbonate as electric vehicles and renewable energy comes online.
Okay. Having said all that, Will, I want to thank you very much for your time and sharing your thoughts with us about Rodinia Lithium.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. And Rodinia Lithium trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol RM and on the over-the-counter under the symbol RDNAF. And you've been listening to Mr. Will Randall, President and CEO of Rodinia Lithium, on A Few Minutes with the CEO. I'm Al O'Grady. Thanks very much for joining us.